Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome back to Wall Street Bullion. Joining us today is a very good friend, Florian Grummes, founder of Midas Touch Consulting. Florian, welcome back, sir.
Thank you for having me, Ivan. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming down to speaking to the silver and gold community and the investing community. I wanted to ask you first, silver and gold, I guess, have been trading sideways for a little bit of time now after everything that's happening with the stock market and tariffs being reduced on China. What are your thoughts on silver and gold from now until the end of 2025?
Well, we had this massive rally over the last 2.5 years, which since basically mid of December accelerated, and gold kept pushing higher and higher, new all-time highs nearly every day. Finally reached $3,500 on April 22nd. And since then, we are in some form of a pullback consolidation, a breather, I would call it, which is totally normal given the seasonal pattern. Usually, gold makes a top somewhere between March and May, then consolidates or pulls back, and then you get a good turning point for the summer rally somewhere, let's say mid June into mid July, somewhere around that time frame. So as it looks right now, it plays out according to the seasonal pattern this year. We had this top in April. Gold came down $380. The low a week ago was at the 3,120. And here we are already Friday afternoon, gold pushing higher again. We are trading around the 3,360. That's where the downtrend line is coming in if you connect the two most recent highs, so the all-time high and then this first recovery bounce, I would call it, which made it up to 3,420-ish. So if you connect those two highs, you get a downtrend kind of resistance line, and that's where we are right now at. And I'm not sure if gold has enough power and steam to break out here directly. My expectation is that we are overall going sideways, meaning 3,100 on the downside, 3,400-ish on the upside. Within that range, basically for a few more weeks, sideways, back and forth. Market is very volatile, so you have nearly $50 every day trading range at least.
Hmm.
But I'm not worried that gold is breaking down here. I think most likely it will hold up above 3,000. As I said, 3,120 was so far the low. Maybe it goes a little bit lower, 3,050. Okay, that would still be in the range. But as it looks right now, I mean, bulls came back, Chinese are buying. I think it's just a question of time until we get this breakout. June usually is a bit of a weaker month. So basically, as I just have laid out, wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a few more weeks of pullback sideways price action. But I think towards the summer, we get another leg higher. There's an open gap around 3,420. I think that will be closed at some point, and then it's not far away to the all-time highs.
Hmm.
And I assume that over the course of the rest of the year, the second half of the year, that we will see new all-time highs in gold. I think that now 3,500, round psychological number, the next target. I mean, we are in uncharted territory here. So using psychology, I would say 4,000 and 5,000 are the next logical price targets that the market at some point wants to see. Might take a while, wouldn't be too impatient here, but let's not forget, silver hasn't shown up to the party yet, so it's
Right.
still just following gold. And most often, like today, gold is up 1.8%, silver is up 0.3%. So it's still lagging. The gold silver ratio around 100 is crazy. I think
Yeah.
silver is crazy undervalued. It will catch up at some point, but apparently it takes longer than many wish for. And I also thought it would happen a little bit earlier. But if silver would start to really run higher towards $50, I mean, that will also help gold. Um, so overall, this bull market is intact. You have to buy the dips. You have to be patient. There's always some volatility that brings prices down, at least temporarily, and that gives you good entry points. I think overall the bull market will march higher. I think we're going to see much higher prices in the next 1 to 3 years.
There's about $15 trillion worth of physical gold in the world sitting there costing money rather than being used is just absolutely insane. Monetary Metals is bringing gold back into the financial world, putting gold to productive use right now. The problem with gold, of course, in physical form is that it's heavy, it's cumbersome, it's not particularly easy to ship, and it costs money to store in a protected manner. This platform Monetary Metals created is a proven concept and allows gold to be put to productive use, so that instead of sitting there costing you money, it's actually in use earning you money.
Learn how you can earn 2 to 5% in our leasing program and how accredited investors can earn up to 12% on silver paid in silver. This advertisement is not investment or financial advice. Minimum investment applies.
Absolutely. Now, what's concerning you most right now, whether it's the markets, geopolitically, what do you, have your eye on that's concerning you right now, Florian?
Not too much. I try to make the best out of it.
Right.
I stay away from TV. I stay away from mainstream news. I focus on markets and the price action. And that's already a lot to digest every day. So I'm not worried. I mean, look, of course, geopolitical tensions, uh, problems everywhere if you really want to talk about it. But in the end of the day, life goes on, and the planet will not implode. There will be a way forward. I think Trump came out this day threatening more tariffs on the European Union. Okay, stock market is down. Well, but I assume in a few weeks the whole thing will look differently again, as we have learned now. The stock market crash in March and early April, it looked very dim and dire, and here we are. A few weeks later, new all-time highs for most of the stock indices and also for Bitcoin. So I still believe in the cracker boom theory that overall governments, central banks expanding the money supply, either openly and transparently and kind of honestly, or through the back door without really showing the real thing. It's happening, it's continuing. We see M2 is rising, so I assume most of the stock indices, I assume Bitcoin as well, and especially, of course, the precious metals prices will march higher overall. Will be volatile, but no, I'm not really worried about anything.
Hello, my fellow silver and gold stacker. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching the channel. Subscribe, please like the video, and also hit the notification bell. Keep stacking. So what would be, I guess, there's a lot of new silver and gold members on this channel, a lot of younger members, a lot of youth who are first getting into silver and gold. What would be your advice to them, your best advice that you wish somebody gave you when you first got into the silver and gold market?
Well, just start buying something, like waiting for like the perfect entry and the perfect low. It's difficult and it might not happen at all. The issue that many people now have is they're running basically behind the train,
Right.
hoping for gold coming back to maybe 2,500 or even 2,000, which I think is very unlikely.
Yeah.
Only in a stock market crash scenario a la 2008, I could imagine that, but I don't really see it at the moment. So you need to get your hands wet and just buy in small tranches. Don't try to put everything in one purchase. If you are unsure, just accumulate on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, whatever you can do. Don't make it too complicated. If you don't have a lot of money, if you cannot even afford 1 ounce of gold, then buy some ounces of silver. Do it step by step, and don't use leverage.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Don't use leverage. Now, there's a lot of talk in the United States about, having in the future, having a gold-backed digital currency or even have a central bank digital currency. How would that look in the future? Do you think it's ever possible that United States will come out with, a currency that, or not even the United States, but you think there'll be a global currency in the future that will be backed by a gold dollar? Do you think China will do it? Russia? What are the likelihoods? Will it succeed?
Well, I mean, nearly all fiat currencies have the problem that they're losing credibility by the day, right? Because people simply realizing if they go to the grocery shopping, oh, I get less for my fiat.
Right.
And so that's a process that takes time, but more and more people waking up to that fact. And then, of course, if you look at like larger investors or institutional investors, who usually have bought the debt of all those nations in the past. I mean, with high inflation numbers and debt downgrades and a rather challenging, difficult demographic outlook for most of the Western countries, especially, but also for China. Yeah, it's hard for all those nations to basically keep the trust or the confidence in their fiat money high. So that means they have to at some point probably inject some form of new confidence and trust, and that might happen through backing it with physical gold. I don't think we're going to see anytime soon a fiat money system backed one to one by gold. But what I can imagine is America has to issue a lot of debt via the treasury market, and they might come up and maybe give some of the bond yield payments in gold or something. I think there's already some talks that this might happen.
Right.
We also know that China is trying to inject more confidence into their renminbi fiat money by offering basically their trading partners like Saudi Arabia or like the African nations that they can basically in their own country exchange the renminbis into physical gold. So China is opening up lots of these warehouses, and that's also a process that takes time, but it's happening. So yes, many of the bigger nations doing this already. Of course, the European Union not. they have they have been warning about the challenges that can or might come through this strongly rising gold price. Yeah, Russia is buying gold for 2 decades already, China as well. Now, America has imported a lot of gold over the last few months. It's happening. It's not happening in the mainstream media, but it's happening. And step by step, gold is being remonetized into our financial system.
Absolutely. Now, Florian, before you go, I really want people to connect with you. I want them to, look at what you're doing or even follow you. Where can people follow your work? Or like, do they go to Midas Touch or where can they go?
Well, first of all, we have the website midastouch-consulting.com. Then we have a Telegram channel, Midas Touch Consulting. We have daily, weekly, monthly charts, analysis, reports. The Telegram group that we have is a mastermind group of traders and investors from all over the world, focuses on gold, silver, mining stocks, commodities, and of course the digital assets, especially Bitcoin. And I publish my daily calls on gold and silver. If people like to look at the shorter time frames, I publish them on Substack. And of course, I'm on X and LinkedIn as well.
So yeah, I'll put the links in the description below. Florian, it's such a huge pleasure having you come down to speak to the silver and gold community and the investing community. And as the market develops, would really love to have you back on in the future.
Sure, anytime. Thank you very much for having me, Ivan.
Talk to you soon.